Good morning. I think we have a couple watching. Yeah. Hi Philippa, hi Gail, hi Donna. Thank you very much for joining me. Bank Holiday Monday. I won't keep you long. I have a lot of prep already done. So the construction of it really is the only thing you need to watch, type of thing. Hi Jenny. The rest of it really is just decoration, and that's totally up to you. So I will warn you now, this very windy here today. So you might hear a few scratchy noises, and that is purely the trees going across the shed roof that I'm in. So please, I can only apologise for that. I really do need to get up there and trim them all down. Morning Jill. Morning Francis. Hi Christine. Right, so I shall make a start because I don't want to be keeping you on your bank holiday. I hope you're all having a good one. So, you're cutting Brian's hair. Oh, wow. I have to cut my man's hair, but it's very easy because I've just used the clippers and shaved a lot off. But Brian's got a lot of hair, hasn't he? He's got a ponytail, I think, hasn't he? Yeah. Be careful you don't slip with the scissors. Hiya, Gail. Right, here we go. So I don't have one to show yet because I sent it to Julie as a sample. So what I've done is I've got it all prepped here anyway, ready, and it's very easy. It looks like a complicated card, but it really isn't. Okay, so what we need is one piece of card which is 6 inches by 9 inches. We need 2 pieces of card that are 4 inches by 4.5 inches. Hi Alison. We've got 2 pieces of card 6 by 6.5 inches. Okay, so 6 by 6.5 we need 2, 4 by 4.5 we need 2, 6 by 9.5 we only need 1. There we go. So we'll start with the 6 by 9.5. So put the 9.5 across the top, and we're going to score it at 2 1/4, at 4 1/2, at 6 3/4, and at 9. So that's that one done. Oh, we'll be fine then if you're qualified. Hi Anne, hi Donna, hi Andreen. So now we put the 6 by 6.5 at the top, the long part at the top, and we're going to score this at 1 1/2, at 3, at 4 1/2, and at 6. And we do the same with the other 6 by 6.5. So that's 1 1/2, 3, 4 1/2, and 6. And then we go on to the 4 1/2. So we put the 4 1/2 across the top, and we do it down 1, 2, 3, and 4, and the same with this one. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's all the scoring we require for now. Okay, so we have all these pieces. So first thing to do with the pieces is where these small parts are at the end. Obviously these are the tabs. Morning Jeanette. These are the tabs. So I always put sticky tape on them when I'm doing a live. When I'm doing it at home, I would use glue, but it's quicker with the sticky tape. Put the sticky tape on and then just cut them edges, so you're mitering the edges of all of the pieces. Okay, these scissors are not brilliant, these are better. Just a small miter on the edge. I always find it gives you kind of a neater join, and because you've already put the tape on, the sticky goes right up to the edge of where you're mitering it, so it's, you know, it's not going to not stick. So There we are, 4 pieces need mited, job done. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in before we put all this together, I'll just pop them to one side. I want to bring this in because I want to show you something in between the two of a different shape you can make. So I've used, for this, I've used the rim from the heart set because I wanted a scalloped edge. And then I've used this one out of the stars to cut into there. Okay, so this one, and then I've just straightened the edge of it. I didn't use the edge of this. As you can see, I put the stars on there, I cut it out, and then I just trimmed it to trim off and make it a straight edge. Okay, so that's that. Should pop that away. And I cut a piece that will fit on here as a straight edge in glitter paper, because this is going to be for a man's card. And what I used was the glitter pad from Studio Light. It's non-shed and it's really nice paper. So I've used the black in this one. So all I've got is foam pads on the back, and I'm just going to pop that centrally on there. And then this one is going to be just glued onto the top. So once that's all dry, I can show you how to change this card up, which is why I've done this first. And so it's a slightly different shape. So we'll glue that on there, press it down. You could have foam padded it if you wish, give it a bit more dimension. So I'll put that to one side now, and we'll get on with the decorating and the putting together of. Okay, so here's my pieces, and you will see that I have decorated them once I turn them over. Okay, because as I said, it's bank holiday and I don't want to keep you all day, and when it comes down to it, the decoration is totally up to you, you know, so whatever you want to do with it really is totally up to you. So what I've done is use the same black card that I've just used on there, and I've cut a white panel over the top, and then I used Julie's background stencil 2 with these lovely stars on, and I used my hickory smoke. It's not as dark as black, it's like a sort of a grey colour, and I just did all the panels first, the white panels first, and then I cut out some of the stars from a black glitter card from the Star Medley pack, a set of dies of hazels. I've used these little ones, and I've cut some stars in various sizes just to lay it on as decorating. Now I find it easier to decorate them first, but it's totally up to you. You can do it whichever way round you want. So I have the sticky tape on, and the easiest way to do this is to lay it down and then pop that one on there, and you get your pillar. I never decorate the back of the pillar, and I always keep the join line off to the left hand top side so that you can't really see it from the front. So this way you've decorated 3 sides and not the back. So that's one. And you just do the same thing with all of them. Once you've got your scores in, and your scores are in the right place, so just be a little careful when you do the scoring, this should fit together no problem at all. Make sure that the score lines are burnished really nicely, and you'll get a nice squared off pillar. Okay, so pop that one down, and that one on there. And you'll see I've just done the stenciling on the sides, not put the stars on the sides, and you'll see why in a minute. So these are the smaller pillars, and I've only decorated the front because you won't see the sides because they will be joined to the next one along. So here we are. I mean, it's a really quick card once you've done your scoring and decided what you decorate it with. There we go. So there's all the 4 pillars made, and you can see now how easy that was, okay? So just make sure they're nice and squared up, because it's easier when you're putting them all onto a piece of card. Now, the reason why I did that is because obviously I've got a large, 2 medium and 2 small. But when I did the wedding card the other week, I removed them and I just used this. And I made the card like that. Obviously, when I did it, I used the bigger square. Or you could do it triangular. You could make a different shape there. And or, if you really wished, you could put one of them into, you know, thingy. Or you could just do a 3. You don't have to have, you can do it face on or like this. You don't have to have the 5 pillars. Okay, now if you were doing 3, obviously it would fold down that way and you'd get it in an envelope. With this 5 one, you either have to make a card or make a card box or make an envelope. You know, it's up to you. Now, these you glue together like this. Or how we're going to do it, we're going to pop this against the sides and do it as a 5, okay? Now there's 2 ways of doing it. You can just do it straight off like that, or what I like to do is cut a piece of card that is slightly smaller, just slightly smaller than them pillars, those smaller pillars, and that way it will kind of stabilise the back of it as well. And then what I've done is I've took an A4 piece of card and cut it just short of 4 inches, which is what the height of this is, okay? So I'm going to start with, this is the way we're laying them out. So I'm going to start with this one and I'm going to turn it on its side and I'm going to glue this onto the card there. And then this can be the start of popping it across. Hi Karen. Hi Shirley. So I'm going to put some glue on here. Don't worry if you put too much on to start with, because you're going to keep going and gluing as you go. So I've popped it right on the edge and I'm checking that I've got the same distance between the edges. This is just to stabilise it. As long as it's on and it's stabilised, it doesn't matter if you get it straight on the middle or not. So once it's in, use a ruler. If you can't get your hand in, use your ruler. Put your ruler in and give it a good press down. There we go. And then you can carry on. So this one now has to go glue on there and glue on the back, because it's going to sit against that one. So you glue on the left hand side and you put glue on the back too. So these 2 now join onto there. So you just push it together to make sure, keep looking at it from the end to make sure that it's straight and it's on. Now this one's a bit more awkward because it's only small, so you can fit your fingers in and give it a good press down. And the same with that one. And then push it together and make sure it's glued along the side. Now you can, if you wish, like I said, use double-sided tape. Once it's in place, you can press it down and it will stay where you need it to be. And then you just keep going. This one, same. But you're gluing the card now. About 2 1/4 inches that one was. So, and then we are gluing the side here. So if you wish, you can glue this piece. And then you know you've got your glue in the right place. Make sure your stars are at the front. Put it on, gauge whether it's all got to stand up. It has to all stand up so you can do it. Make sure it's going to stand up by standing it on its end. And then you've got, this is the trickiest part really. Once you've got it semi-stuck, you can push it down and it will stick itself to the next one. Okay. Obviously, you'll have more time than me. So, next one down. Glue the side of this one. and the back, just like we did before. And then lay it on. Have a look at it from the bottom. Make sure it's going to be squared. That's it. Put your fingers in and press it down. Has anybody got any questions? No? No questions? But if you do have any and you don't want to ask them here, you can always text me. I'll let you know the answer. So we're on to the last one now. There we go. So what I'm going to do is place it on, and then I'm either going to trim it with a pair of scissors, or you can draw a line down it and trim it on your trimmer. If you don't, because you can lie this flat to trim it. I'll do it with the scissors and show you. Just as easy. I'm gluing this side here, and I'm going to put some glue on here, roughly the width of that, and then we can line it up and stand it up so it's straight. There you go, we've got it straight. Push it against the next one and push it down with your ruler if you can't get your hands in. Yeah, you are very quiet, Jenny. There we go. And then push it down. Now, I'm not sure what size envelope. It might go in an 8. I think I've got an 8 here. No, just a little bit too big for an 8. But I suppose if you made these panels smaller, this one smaller in the middle, or made 3 this size, it would definitely go in an 8x8 envelope. Okay, so now you just need a steady hand and a pair of scissors, and you can trim that excess card off the back. There we go, and you've got that across the back to help it stand up. Just need to hold that a little bit longer. Help it stand up. There we go. There we are. So easy. And now we can pop this on in any configuration we want. So we can, you know, do it. Well, I did the other one like that, I think. Was there a reason? Yeah, I put it on like that just the same. As I said, I put the glitter on there. So we're going to go straight down the middle and a little bit either side for that. Just balance it up nicely. Press it on. You're fascinated, Karen. Little fascination. There you go. So we've got that. And then all I did for the front part, I wanted something big and bold on it. So I used Julie's birthday profile dies. I love these. Happy birthday profile dies. Let's get rid of them. Okay, so obviously I cut the actual word in the black to match and the backing in white, which now we have a little bit of sticky tape, foam tape, sorry, not sticky tape. Happy and birthday. Drinking it all in. Honestly, it looks quite impressive, I feel, but it's so easy to do. You know, and because you can change the size and of everything, then, you know, you're going to be able to make it your own sort of thing. There you go. So we have a stand-up card that says happy birthday. Now, I have got some stars. I've cut them out. Now, this one is not from Hazel's. This is, I think it was a Chloe's die. These two are Hazel's, the ones that were in. But I wanted a slightly bigger one, you know, to put on it. Not sure if it needs them, but it's just showing you how, really. So I suppose I could stick a couple of them on, seeing as I have cut them out. I've got sticky under that one, so I'll just glue this. There we are. Pop that silver one on there as well, and then just to highlight those two, I might put a little black one on as well, just to highlight that the silver. Pop it on there. And because this all folds down, you can build these stars up. You know, it's the only thing with glitter card, isn't it? It takes a little while to stick to itself. There we go. Yeah, the stars are cute, aren't they? I do like the stars. Just add a little bit of extra, don't they? But you could do this with the heart dies as well. There we are. This is going to take a little while to stick because of the... there we are. Maybe one extra one on the end. Why not? Because it's a glitter card. There we go. And you've built the front up then. Like, this would look really good if you did it with the hearts and some balloons coming off the edge there, if you get me. There we are. So that's that. I told you it wouldn't take long. But once you've scored it, it's very easy to do. So let's move all this and then you can see it properly. So you've got your backing on, you've got that, it's sturdy. If I keep messing with it, it's not quite dry yet. So all you've got to do is remember it needs to stand up. You can decorate the inside panels there if you wish. I think I did do that on the sample. It needs to stand up. So these three must touch the base. And that's it, really. That's it. So I do hope that you enjoyed that and that you'll have a go, make them on yourself. And I shall see you in a fortnight. Philip is in next week. I think Julie will probably be on this week as well. Keep your eyes peeled on the Julie Hickey page, this page. And I hope you all have a lovely bank holiday with your loved ones. Take care. Bye.